Hi Not Board Gamers and welcome back to Not Board Gaming. I'm your host, I'm Mark, and today do I have a treat for you. So about 10 months ago, November last year, I previewed the upcoming Skyrim the Adventure game, the board game version of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim from Modiphius Games. I previewed it on Tabletop Simulator. I did a multiplayer playthrough with Thomas Covert from Board Game Revolution and also Chris, who owns Modiphius. And I also did a solo playthrough as well, or a solo kind of preview, if you like, on Tabletop Simulator. Well, 10 short months later, I received this in the mail the other day. This is an early production copy of Skyrim, the adventure game from Modiphius Games. Now, 10 short months is a spectacularly quick time to go from the GameFound campaign through to having early production copies. I believe it's going to start going out to backers in the next month or so. So Modiphius were very kind to send me through an early production copy so I could show you exactly what you get inside the box, and also in the coming weeks, once I've played it a few times, I'll also be doing a review of the final version, the solo version of Skyrim, the adventure game. So I can only imagine that you're all very, very excited to kind of look and see what's inside the box. It's been here since Thursday last week, and it's now Monday. I was busy all day Friday. I had to go to London for a wedding over the weekend, and then I've been working all day today. So this is being sat there kind of, my fingers have been itching to break the cellophane on this and look inside it, but I've decided not to. I want you guys to see it for the first time as I see it as well. So without much further ado, let me show you what you get inside the the big box of Elder Scrolls V Skyrim the adventure game from Modiphius Games. This is exciting. Okay, so here we go. Here we can see the front of the boxes. As you can see, the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, the famous Skyrim logo, the adventure game. Bethesda, obviously the company behind the computer game or the console game or PC game, whatever you want to call it, and Modiphius, obviously behind the board game. It's a big box. You can see it's kind of one half hand spans, well, my hand spans, kind of square there. But look at the depth on the box as well. You know, it's kind of 3/4 of my hand on the depth of the box, and you've got this. Obviously, the illustration goes around the sides as well, and then as we go to the back, it's going to tell you everything that you get in the inside the box. So you can see here some of the cards and some of the miniatures that are there, the board, some of the tokens, etc. And it says, "Adventures in the world of Skyrim before the Dragonborn came to Skyrim." Skyrim, the adventure game, is a resettable legacy experience that allows you to delve into Tamriel's past, battle foes, hoard treasures, and thwart a plot that threatens the whole of Skyrim. So it's a resettable legacy-style game. You are surviving members of the Blades, a legendary group who long protected the Empire of Tamriel. Abandon your former allies. You must work together. Abandoned by your former allies, you must work together with your fellow adventurers to defeat enemies, embark on intriguing quests, and face the looming threat that seeks to destroy everything you swore to protect. In this endlessly replayable game of branching quests and mysteries to uncover, you take on the role of a brave adventurer in co-op or solo adventures with hundreds of hours of gameplay. Build your unique character, upgrade your equipment, delve into dungeons and travel across the holds of Skyrim. Gain experience, find treasures and battle Draugr, Daedra, dragons and more. Play through 6 chapters of 2 hugely replayable campaigns spanning 25 years in the history of Tamriel. Each decision matters. Choose wisely, and you may live to tell the tale of how you too used to be an adventurer. It says here, here's a list of contents here. 6 player figures, 8 skill test dice, 1 enemy dice, 4 health cubes, 4 stamina cubes, 4 magicka cubes, 18 armor cubes, 12 track limit tokens, 4 final blow tokens, 72 skill tokens, tokens, lots of things here, lots of cards down here, 54 dungeon cards, 297 quest cards, 67 encounter cards, a tutorial and scenario book, a rule book, a game board, 4 character boards, 1 game board, loads of stuff in this box, and you can see that it's totally packed. So that's kind of giving you an overview on what the box looks like. really looking forward to kind of breaking the seal on this and seeing how we go in. Now, how do we break a seal on a game like Elder Scrolls? Well, of course, we use a sword. Here we can see my Not Board Gaming sword. It's the perfect way. I've never opened a game using this sword before, so I'm going to be very, very careful and see if I don't damage the game by breaking into the cellophane of Skyrim. Well, that didn't work that way, so let's have a look this way. Maybe too thick. Yeah, the sword didn't quite work, so we'll just do it the old-fashioned way, I think, and just use my thumbnail. So let me just do that. One sec, here we go. It would have been nice to do the sword. Let's do the sword underneath the cellophane. I think we can... Yes! And the sword doesn't cut the cellophane. There we go. So it's a nice, obviously, big, chunky box. As I say, this is the first time I'm seeing it as well. Go to battle. This is the first time I'm seeing it as well. So let's see, as we lift the lid on this box, how it looks as you first open it. So is there going to be a box fart? No, that's okay. That's fine. Okay. Oh, there we go. Sorry about the glare there. Some beautiful artwork on the inside of the box. I like it when boxes have artwork on the inside. It just adds an kind of additional theme. You can see some of Tamriel there. So, first thing you're going to see is lots of baggies, because there are obviously lots of tokens here as well. So I should imagine kind of punching and sorting the game is going to take a wee while, and I dare say that there will be people coming out with various inserts for it, but there's quite a lot of baggies there that you get with it. Then we have the adventure game rulebook. Let's come back to that in a sec, okay? Here we have a board save box. So this is how you can save your game state. You'll put certain things in here, I should imagine, cards, tokens, whatever in here, as you're progressing through your adventure. So there's a board game save box there. What do we have here? Okay. So these are the character boards. So these are, obviously, I've only seen these on TTS up until now. So what you have is some dual layered boards, and you can see that this is where you track your various kind of your magicka, your stamina, etc. That's upside down. Will go along there, where you will put your cards, your helm, your armor, your weapons, left and right hand or dual handed, what you're wearing on your feet, the various kind of items and potions you can collect as well. And here, these recess places where you can put the magicka and I can't remember what else it is, and you kind of build that up and then spend it throughout the game. And these are nice dual layered boards, and you can see down at the bottom other areas to put things. Then you've got your status cards down there, you've got your quest to one side, and your also character card there. There are 4 identical boards there. It is solo and co-op. So obviously you can play it with up to 4 characters. And they're really nice. They're kind of linen finished on the back as well. And it's a nice thick cardboard there. So I'm really pleased with the quality of those. They feel quality. They don't feel... Sometimes with dual layered boards, you know, you don't quite get that quality feel, but they've gone for a particularly thick cardboard on this, and I think that's really, really nice. So we also have some more save boxes as well. So we saw obviously the board save box, which is saving the board state, I should imagine, which is that one. Then we have the player save box, so what your players are doing. Another, one for each character there. There we go. So 4 player save boxes for all of the characters, because of course they will have slightly different colours to identify them. We have the board itself, and again we'll come back to that in a second. I always find it best to kind of come back to that. We have some silica packs. Don't throw them away. Keep them with your games, because you know they help you against moisture, etc. Then we got some token sheets. So what do we have? Wow. Okay. So again, what I like to do is look at the thickness of these, and I don't know if you can see that if my camera's picking it up, but they're a decent thickness, those as well, and we have lots of tokens here. So you can see these are markers that you would use as you kind of progress along the map for objectives and etc. And I think, yeah, objectives, etc. Maybe coins. These are various skills that you can upgrade to. These are blocking tabs that you would put on your board, and they would kind of indicate, I think, where your maximum particular achievement is. There you've got horse tokens. You've got these are some of the enemy tokens here. So we can see we've got a vampire, a dragon, a troll, and these numbers, if I remember rightly, they tell you which card to go for, so you know what card to draw if you encounter them. Oh, there we go. These will be coins, won't they? Here, yeah. Yeah, really nice looking tokens and good quality there. And there's another one there. The more bad guys. I can't remember what these are called, but it's important. You kind of build it up and then spend it throughout the game. Again, more skills here, more blocking tokens here, more of these objective tokens. Yeah, again. And finally, for a game like this, you'd probably expect more tokens. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot, but it's not overwashed with tokens, and that's because it's predominantly going to be a card-driven game as well. That's going to dictate a lot of what you got there. So there we go. Again, some various skills, etc. Yeah, some other tokens, maybe coins, maybe not. Some encounter tokens. Yeah, really nice those, and there we go, some more bad guys. So it looks to be, so far, there's 3 token sheets. Don't know if there's any more under there. So, I said people are going to come up with an organizer or an insert. Well, look what they've provided here. There's already an insert in the box, and that's really great. So a lot of these tokens are going to fit in there directly. I should imagine we'll have excess anyway, but a lot of them are going to fit in there directly. So what do we have first? Oh, look at that, that's exciting. Here we have some kind of organizer tray. So we have these dice. So these are the dice that you're kind of going to roll for combat and encounters, and you roll a combination of them, and then the bad guys roll them as well. And each symbol on here means something different depending on the type of attack that you're doing or they're doing, and the combination that you get of those, if I remember rightly, kind of dictates whether you were successful or not. So the combat is, you know, it's kind of dice based, but it was good. It was progressively harder as well. The further you went on your adventure, the cards get progressively harder, and there are kind of 3, 6, 8 of those white dice and 1 red die as well. I can't remember the red die. I think that is the kind of the attack die for the bad guys, I think, and if they roll certain symbols, it means they've hit you, or they've thrown a spell on you, or they get energized, etc. Yeah, so that's you get 8 of the white dice and 1 of the red die. But although it's dice-based combat, it's completely mitigable, because what you do is you build your character up over time. Obviously, you're increasing your character's kind of strengths and perks and creating this, as it mentioned in the blurb on the back. It's a totally unique experience as well. So here we have the various cubes that it mentioned as well, so some nice coloured cubes, and we have some white and black cubes there as well. Excellent. And we have some decks of cards. Now, I don't want to spoil and go through all of the cards, so let's just think what we got here, what I can go through. This looks like some kind of equipment cards. So let's take a look at the cards themselves. So these are going to be various bits of equipment that you can get. So maybe you want an iron battle axe, and it tells you there, if you're using it two-handed, swing, and there we go. It tells you what you need to roll to do the damage on them. And then these, I think, are mitigations against damage against you or against damage against them. If it's so two-handed swing that, two-handed chop, you get that symbol. You have to get that symbol to damage them. On block, you have to get that symbol. So if you remember going back to those dice, they've got different symbols on them. Those symbols really matter depending on what action you're choosing. As you can see, they've got two-handed attacks there that you can do, and then 1 block. Obviously, if you look here, two-handed swing, you need 2 of those symbols to do damage, but they must be easier to get than this next symbol, because you need 1 of those to do 4 damage, and to parry, you need to get that symbol that you can see at the bottom there, and they're all represented on the dice. So we've got iron battle axe, we've got an iron armour. I wonder if any of them will save you from an arrow to the knee, any of the armour, who knows. Iron dagger, a longbow, healing, novice robes, iron sword. I remember some of these from when I was previewing the game on Tabletop Simulator. Of course, that wasn't the full game then, so it's great to see these in the flesh, so to speak, in reality, so to speak. And there we go. Just give you a close-up on the ragged robes there. So it's equipment. It gives you 1 sneak there, and a protection from that. Maybe, I think it's protection from that. Yeah, or it adds on to that there. And I think this is to do with strength at the top and what kind of equipment it is. I can't remember exactly. And as I reread the rules for the game, then I'll get to re-establish myself with the rules. So you can punch with this. You need to roll that symbol to do 1 damage, or you can dodge an attack there if you get that symbol on the dice that you roll. And the number of dice you roll is going to kind of increase throughout the game, could decrease if your certain powers go down, etc. So that was those iron battle axes and various bits of equipment there. Here we've got enchantment and upgrades as well. Now, these kind of you'll get these and attach them to your character throughout the game, and it will essentially either upgrade or provide a magic enchantment to them. They're kind of dual use, so you'd have one or the other depending on which side it is. So there we go. You can see that this would allow you to let me go through there. Absorb health, heal 1 after every encounter, and that's the enchantment. But if you got the other side, which is an upgrade, it's +2 there for you, so it increases the weapon's kind of ability by 2. And you can see that they've all got slightly different abilities in terms of enchantment and upgrade, and you get to choose, I believe, which one you want. I could be slightly wrong there, it might be dictated, but I think you get to choose as to whether you're getting an enchantment or an upgrade, and you attach them to either your character or to your weapons on your character. So we got that's going through those two. What do we have here? We have some more items or treasures. So that's these are various treasures, and again, you kind of get to treasure, get to kind of unearth treasure, if you like, as you go along. And it's got markers on there because some of them will point you to story cards where you go to a specific card and it'll tell you about that. Here we have status cards. So the Thane of Winterhold. Upgrading prices in Winterhold are 1 whatever cheaper. Turn in 3 coins to restore Winterhold. Yeah, so what you can do there, is that 3 coins or 3 whatever that is to restore Winterhold. You see, throughout the game, certain things are going to happen to certain towns, which are going to make them either harder to trade in or impossible to trade in, and you're going to need to restore them before it blights your game completely and stops your progress. Here we have some other items as well. So maybe it's a glass shield there, a glass shield. To block, you need to throw that symbol. And to protect, take another player's damage. You can do that if you spend 2 of your stamina, I think that is. So you spend 1 stamina to block and roll that. If you spend 2 stamina, you can take another player's damage. So that's a good way of absorbing for other players there, obviously. And keeping your party strong. Remember, it's solo co-op, so that means you can play it, I should imagine, as a solo player, or as a solo player using all 4 characters, or up to all 4 characters, or as 1 to 4 people as well. Lockpicking tools. Yeah, what is Skyrim without lockpicking? Of course, lockpicking is here. And this gives you 2 white cubes when facing whatever that is there. So there's some more kind of treasure chest stuff there, and some silver treasure chests. So you have gold and silver here, and that's a great, the Orcish Greatsword. So there we go. It costs 2 stamina to swing. If you do that, you can damage 3. I can't remember what the colours mean. I know they mean you can either damage them if they have that colour or if they don't have that colour. I can't remember exactly. So that's a 2-handed, another 2-handed there for a slash. You roll those 2 symbols, damage 5, or you can block as a parry with 2 of those symbols. And they've all got a cost down here because I believe you can sell this stuff as well, buy and sell. And they also have, I think this is for the upgrade, this symbol down here is for the upgrade or the enchantment. You spend these certain resources to either upgrade or enchant your weapon, and that would then go, obviously, for an upgrade, it would be kind of there. It would tell you your weapon is +2. There we go, at the top there. Yeah, so that would be your upgrade. And if it's enchantment, it would you would put it above your weapon. It will give you that. So yeah, I'm not saying that card works specifically with that. Some great trays there as well to put, I should imagine, some of the other cards in as well. So nice little bit of storage there. Of course, once you kind of got rid of the punch boards, etc., it will create more storage in the box itself. But there is also further stuff in the box. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so let's just move that out of the way. Keep those silica packs, as I say. Always good to keep those. Right. So what we have here then are some various storage boxes, and let's look at those. They're great. Got like almost like a some form of stone coffin, etc. in there. So good for storage. There's a couple of those. This one's got a pack of cards. So let's have a look in here. Now these are. I'm not going to open all the cards because I think most of you will want to get your own surprise as you do this. So I'm going to open some cards, and some of the cards I want to show you, I believe, are going to be the cards with the artwork of the characters, because I know in the TTS preview, it was, you know, people wanted to see the artwork redesigned a little bit. So we've got Jashani here, who's an experimenter. Greetings, adventurer. I am an experimenter, developing exciting new spells. May I try one on you? And you can gain one of those things which you would gain and spend throughout it. And then become a test subject. So this must be a particular quest, this, yeah. You roll for restoration. Get roll plus restoration, get 2, and you can push white cubes equals one of those. So yeah, I can't remember push what that is, but yeah, you must push again to roll. Oh, you've got to spend one of those to re-roll a dice there. Success, gain 2 of those. Quest, get rid of this card, don't rip it up, and get quest card number 10. So I'm not going to go through all of these, because these are location ones, these basically. So when you go to locations, you can take some of these cards, and what they're going to do, I'm going to kind of block it off so you don't see. So you've only seen the one I've shown you. There we go. It tells you what quest to pick up when you've got there. So that's those kind of location cards. Then we have a number of other cards here. So we've got, now these are all sealed. So there we go. Dungeon Challenge Chapter 2. I'm not going to show you that. Here we have some enemy cards. So these have got artwork on them. This is what people want to see. So let's have a look at some of this artwork, because you know, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, this computer game, people are very invested in the artwork on there. Let's have a look. We got the mud crab, and it tells you its attack there. So if it rolls either that or there, it's going to do damage unless you've got that, which I can't remember what it is. We've got a skeever. If you've played the game, you've obviously come across skeevers. We've got a bear. Again, the bears will terrorise you in the wastelands and the wildlands, etc. A bear trap. We've got a giant frostbite spider. Okay. We've got an ice wolf. A flail trap. A Spriggan matron. A Chaurus reaper. A mammoth. A flame atronak. There we go. Dremora, blah, blah, blah. So there's quite a lot of these bad guy cards as well. If I remember rightly, yeah, you can see they've got different symbols on there. Your decks are going to be made up, whichever bad guys you battle, are going to be made up with variations on these, and they get progressively harder as you go through the game, and I think you add to them, etc. So what do we have here? War Quest. Again, any of this stuff that kind of looks like it's sealed and needs to be for a reason, I'm not going to break the seals for you. But let's just show you the Dremora Valkinaz. There we go. You see the artwork on that? So if you know the game, you will know whether you're pleased with this artwork or not. We've got encounter cards here, and again, I don't really want to show you those, but if you look at the top of the encounter cards, throughout the game you're going to be pointed to various cards that you're then going to take, and they'll become quests or encounters, etc. And you know, tokens will go on the board and what have you. So yeah, gather all players in Whiterun, and then take card 3, 1, 4, and then that's all I want to show you on that there. So yeah, these are a good stack of encounter cards, and the game is dynamic, so you're never going to play it exactly the same way twice. We have some more kind of bad guy and encounter cards here. So here it tells you this is card 264, and if you get that, you know you're going to come across the Nalvrala Omeds there. So again, the artwork, just show you the artwork on that. I'm not going to break the seal on that. You've got your follower cards, because you will gain followers as you go through the game. And again, it will tell you which cards to get. The game drives you through this really nice use of the card system. So rather than pointing you to chapters in a book, it's going to kind of move you through the cards, tell you what cards you need to get, and that will then drive the game for you. Some more location cards there. Again, yeah, some of the quest cards here which have a success, and you kind of fail forward, but not really, because you can either successfully complete these quests or you can fail them, and if you obviously successfully complete them. So for example here, I stand victorious over the corpses of my opponents, gain 3 of those and 1 chest, and place 1 marker next to solitude. Failure. I am ambushed by some bandits. I run with little information, and I run with the little information I find. I lose 5 coins there. And then it tells you which card to move to next. So the success or failure opens up the game. You can't guarantee you're going to successfully achieve each quest as you move along. There's some more there. And again, this is going to be kind of relatively spoiler free. But you can see there's lots and lots of packs of cards which will drive the game. And the good thing about, obviously, you've got this kind of codex system down here. So once you've got them sorted, kind of, you know, putting them back in the right place, because, you know, most of the ones that you need to have numbered are all going to be correctly numbered, etc. It's going to be easy to put them back in the right place and make sure that you are following the right kind of flow of game that you started and set up. So I'll just put these back. Then we'll look here. What do we have here? Oh, these are dividers. And then we have some player aids there as well. Now, what are these cards? These cards are, let's see, we got, I'm going to show you something here. Okay. So, do you like holographic cards? Because in here, there are some holographic cards. I'm going to show you one. That's all I'm going to show you. And I'm going to look at the numbers and let's just see. Yeah. I'm going to show you the Spriggan Earth Mother. There we go. Got a holographic effect on that card. That's fantastic, isn't it? That's really nice. There we go. The Spriggan Earth Mother. Sneak of 6. Gets that. Don't know what most of this is here. And she's going to do 8 damage. She's going to do 7 damage. Or she's going to call a creature. And look at the holographic effect on that card. It tells you up there, oh, this is how you kind of chip away at them down here. That's really, really nice. These are obviously kind of fairly high up creatures, some of your maybe end level bosses, etc., or quest bosses, but they look really, really nice. And there's a number of them in with this copy of the game. Now, not only do you get those as well, there's some additional quests, some additional cards, and also some, I'll just show you one because there's a pack of them here. There we go. Holographic equipment cards as well. We have Mehrunes Razor there, which obviously is quite powerful by the looks of it. Use it one-handed for swing, one-handed for stab, or there's a dodge there as well. So, not only do you have these boxes here, you've got these here as well for the various cards. So what about your characters, I hear you say? Well, that's funny you should ask. Look, here we have some of our miniatures. So let's take a look at some of these miniatures. So, here we have, is this the infamous? Yep, it's the Khajiit. There we go. Wielding the mighty mace of sorts, and there's a shield there. So look at the detailing on this. It's pretty good detailing. There's some really nice detailing in there actually. If you're into painting miniatures, I think you're going to have a great time with this. Okay. Here's a Dragonborn. So let me just pull that back. Got the shield. Yes, that looks really, really, really nice. Now suppose if you got the Elder Scrolls The Miniatures game, then you could use, if you have a Dragonborn from there as well and you got it painted from your miniatures game, there's nothing to stop you using those miniatures in this game as well. And it is a game that isn't kind of locked down by loads and loads of miniatures as well. There are literally 6 miniatures here. Here we go. And then we look at this one. We've got some, here we go, some female representation here, is it? No, still a male. Oh, maybe female. Yep. So we have, again, some nice detailing on this miniature. I'm sure there are people screaming these names out at me. Although I played Skyrim, of course, and Elder Scrolls and this, I can't remember all the names of everybody. I know some people kind of live and breathe it. And here we have, here we go. You can see he's got fire, maybe? Maybe fire coming up there, casting a spell. Yeah, so fires and a firebolt there. So those are the 6 miniatures that you get with the game as well. And look, in the box, when I say there's plenty of storage, I really mean there is plenty and plenty of storage. There's loads of room here for you to be able to put your stuff away. You know, all your tokens in the bags, all the various spaces for cards, keeping your cards in the codexes, etc. There's lots and lots of space and area here for you to do that. So that is that's a lot of stuff that you get in Skyrim, the adventure game, or should I say Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, the adventure game from Modiphius Games. I'm really, really pleased with all that. I think that is just, certainly with some of those holographic cards as well, I'm really, really excited. We of course have card dividers as well, that you can keep your tabs on what cards you've got. And here we go. Here we go. We got your player reference cards as well. So you got a turn sequence, a combat sequence, and what to do when visiting the market, when upgrading or enchanting, and what to do in strongholds, and your turn actions as well. Some good player reference cards there as well, which are always useful because, you know, if you're like me, you play quite a few games, then what will happen is invariably you forget the rules to some of the games as you play them. So that's what you get in the box. Let's have a look at the board now. So I've laid the board out and it won't all fit on my screen. So let's just I'll move it this way and you can look at it from this side here. So you've got your world quests, which you're going to put here, and as you progress throughout the game, more and more world quests will become available. Up at the top, obviously, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. Then we have the kind of main part of the board itself, which is Tamriel in all its glory. You have the Reach, you have the High Rock, you have Haffinger, Solitude, the little towns, the townships, etc. Falkreath, some of these are coming back to me now. Whiterun Hold, Falkreath Hold, Hjalmark, the Pale, is that right? Yeah, the Pale. Winterhold, and you've got Winterhold Township up there. Eastmarch, the Rift, Cyrodiil down here. Yep, beautiful. And what you're going to do is kind of travel throughout this on the game, and various quests are going to come out on there, and you've got to travel to the towns to get to them, but also the bad guys. We saw those kind of diamond shaped tokens. They're going to come out on the board. They may move towards you or against you. Certain of these towns, things, if you don't keep on top of them, because there's almost a resource management element here, certain of these towns are going to, well, in fact, I'll show you on the other side of the board. So let's do this. So before we get to that bit, down here you have your events. So you've got your discarded, you've got your event deck, active event, and then your event discard down here. And if you look up at the top here, this is what I wanted to show you. This is what I was just talking about. So if we go up to the top up here, you can see it's got all the various townships down there. So Solitude, Dawnstar, Winterhold, Morthal, Windhelm, Markarth, Whiterun, Falkreath, and Riften. And they degrade over time depending on what you do. So that's what those kind of, you saw the tokens there that were similar to this. And depending on what they are, so they will start off possibly all available to you, but if stuff happens and they start to degrade, you'll put a token on there and it becomes unstable. When it becomes unstable, the market is inaccessible. You cannot buy from there. When it is closed, what happens is you can't get entrance into there, and you may need to go in there to do a quest or pass through it, etc. And it's going to cost you 5 to access. So not only is it unstable, but it's also closed to access as well. So you can't actually enter that town. And if you've got a quest that you need to go in there for, then you need to keep on top of that. There are ways of stopping that, moving that degradation, I believe, back, but it kind of once it starts, it's almost it's escalating as it goes on. Then what happens is if they move to rioting, you're going to start adding one of those every turn, and then what happens is you're adding one of those every turn. You're starting to close off the abilities on other towns and other townships, etc. So it tells you here kind of what's available at each town as well, and that's a really good reason that you want to keep them open, and it will change dynamically as you go through the game as well. So not everything is available at every town, so you want to make sure that you're kind of strategizing, and you may want to sacrifice certain towns for the sake of other towns, etc. But that becomes a real key part of the gameplay. So not only do you have your quests and your overarching story to do and your bad guys to do and the upgrading of your characters to consider as well, you're also managing the kind of status of those towns. So there we go. That is the board in all its glory, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing this out on the table, and I can imagine a really good game night. Kind of sit down, playing through, you know, some of the various adventures and working through this pretty much like you would work through Skyrim in terms of upgrading your character and making sure that you have, you know, you're maximizing stuff. So let's talk about the 2 books that came with it. Okay, so first of all, we have the tutorial. Now, I played through the tutorial, I think, for the TTS there, and it was really, really good. When I say it was really good, I thought it was fantastic. It really walks you through exactly how you're going to play the game. You know, sometimes with these larger games, there's always this element of you really need to know how to play it to get the most out of it, and you've got to learn the rules, and you're going to make mistakes as you go. Fortunately, from what I remember on TTS, the tutorial really walks you through everything fantastically. So we can see there's some nice artwork there, and it tells you the tutorial mission: first game turn, second game turn, third game turn, and then fourth game turn. Congratulations. So this is only 15 pages long, and you're going to want to go through this. So it's going to tell you who to choose, which characters to choose. We didn't see the character cards because they must be hidden in there. So again, character artwork has been upgraded from what was on TTS as well. So it's going to build it all up for you so you can play through the tutorial and get into grips with it very, very quickly. Walk you through most aspects of the game. Obviously not every single aspect, but it's going to walk you through the various aspects of the game and how it works. And I would suggest, you know, I know some of us hardcore gamers like to think, we don't need a tutorial, we'll just jump straight into this. Play the tutorial mission. It really, really helps. And what feels like could be a sprawling game actually makes a lot of sense. And here we can see kind of the suggested setup for your character board. So you've got your character card there. So they've got the Khajiit there. Let me just pull up that artwork, and I think you'll agree that that is better than what was in the tabletop simulator version of it. And there you can see how the character's set up. So they've got they've got some some arrows, some no, hide armor. Sorry. Sorry, my eyesight is terrible. Hide armor, an iron dagger, and then a couple of items there, or an item and a potion there. It tells you what to put your stamina, etc. cubes, and what to do there, and what quest to start with as well. Really, really good. Nice, easy walkthrough here. People that are even new to board games, you know, who like Skyrim, then it'd be worthwhile kind of letting them play through this. Talks about the roaming monsters. And then we got, there we go, the adventure game scenario book as well. So that's a scenario book. So you're going to get halfway through the book, and then it's going to go upside down, basically. So that's the end of the tutorial there. Don't read that stuff. What you do is you flip it over, and it tells you about the game set up for a scenario. So it tells you through campaign 1 is the Blades, campaign 2 is the Civil War, and it's going to tell you what to do in terms of those campaigns that you've got there. So that's really good. So you have a scenario book as well as an adventure game tutorial as well, which I highly recommend playing through. It helped me tremendously when I was learning the game. Right, I've not seen the full rulebook, have I? Not in its final form, no. So I've not seen the full rulebook in its final form, and it's got kind of everything you want in here, basically. So really good kind of index at the front, telling you where everything is. It gives you an overview of the game, so, you know, a little bit of lore will go into there as well, but most people will know something about Skyrim because of all of the components that you got. So you see me unbox everything and take you through everything. That's exactly what we got here, basically, is it tells you everything that you've got. Experience tokens, that's what you want to spend. Threat tokens, that's what I was thinking of. Gold tokens and component tokens there, and the various other tokens. Final blow, remember that. So final blow, that kind of stops your progressive death. Gives you one last chance, basically, before you die. Tells you how to set up the full game there. You can see you've got it set up for 4 players. And then it tells you how to set up your character as well. So let's go back into the character. We've got the Imperial there. So you can see the artwork on that. And it tells you what they can do once per game turn. When drawing a particular A, B, or that treasure chest, lose 1 strength to do something. To change cards, maybe that is. Gives you special powers. These kind of starting abilities there. If they want to rest, it's going to cost them, they might gain 2 stamina and also an experience, or maybe it costs them that, I can't remember. But yeah, here we go. That's kind of the suggested character setup. As we go through, there's a reference guide, there's a combat reference guide, tells you how to start the game, but if you've gone through the tutorial, this should be relatively straight. You know, you should be understanding a lot of this. Quest cards, combat, but this is here to help you, after you've gone through the tutorial, really get into the kind of the nitty-gritty of the game itself. Talks about all the skills. We saw those little coloured skill tokens. You've got might skills, shadow skills, and sorcery skills. It tells you exactly what they do there and how they work. What happens when you level up, how you gain legendary skills, what happens in terms of exploration. So your dungeon deck will tell you, your dungeons will tell you what kind of cards you need to fight against and what monsters you need to fight against. And as I say, they will get progressively harder as you go deeper and deeper. An explorer's guide to Skyrim, so it tells you that, oh, here we go. So this is what I want to show you right here. There is a free roam mode. You don't have to play it as a kind of open world adventure. You can just wander around the lands doing so. So solo games, solo roles there, of course. Free roam competitive mode, so you can play it competitive. There's a hard mode. Add 5 events labelled as free roam to the game. And there's a story mode as well. And then it says, you gives you some hints there on cooperating, how you explore the world. And then it tells you how the cards all work as well. Some idea on the various cards that you get in the game. On the back we have, as well as that wonderful kind of map of Tamriel, we have a glossary of icons. So as well as the player aids, as well as a tutorial, as well as a really well laid out rule book that will give you the in-depth on everything you need to know, you know, it's a game that really wants you to learn how to play, love and enjoy. And I think that's what most people are going to get. Your first couple of games are going to be learning games. Once you get into the flow of this game, you're really going to want to start exploring, upgrading your character, different quests, working with maybe different partnerships and different characters, etc. That's a lot of stuff, and a lot of really well-produced stuff in a very short amount of time. My friends, that's everything that you get in the box of Skyrim, the adventure game, from our friends at Modiphius. I mean, that is kind of better than I imagined it being. I'm genuinely very, very excited by this. I think the production quality looks absolutely top notch. I love the fact that it's not awash with miniatures. Nothing to stop you using miniatures from, let's say, Call to Arms or whatever, but I like the fact there's only 6 miniatures in the game. I think the quality of the kind of artwork on the board looks fantastic. The thickness of those player boards is really, really good. The fact they're dual layered, nice components, and not awash with dice as well. There are only 9 dice in total. The number of tokens, yes, there are quite a few tokens, but you do have a storage solution. You have the insert, the tray, and of course there are plenty of baggies that come with it as well. I think more so as well is the fact that they've adopted the tutorial system, which is, as I say, when I did it on TTS, it was an absolute godsend, the tutorial system. It really does allow you to set it up quickly and jump straight into a game and play the game and feel like you're playing the game as well. The rulebook is absolutely fantastic, really nice quality rulebook, good paper quality, good print, really well laid out. It's not like, you know, it's not tiny text or anything like that. Even with my bad eyesight, I can read it. Everything about this production just screams absolute top notch, and the fact it's come in maybe 10, 11 months. So it was 1st of November, so what's that? We're on whatever it is, 25th, 26th of September today, so 10 months ish, kind of, 11 months if you like, from when I previewed it to seeing the final production copy is just absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for backers to get this into their hands, because I think that the game is going to offer a lot of replayability for people. It's legacy style, but it's resettable. It's got free roam, it's got a competitive free roam mode, it's got a story mode. You can play 1 player, 2 players, 3 players, 4 players. You can play solo with 4 characters, and you get to choose the various, out of the 6 characters. You can get to choose your characters and mess around with your party and find out which combinations work best, and also obviously the upgradability as well, which is a key element of Skyrim. We all know that as you start a game of Skyrim, you always feel like you're running around in your underpants waving a toothpick at people. This doesn't quite drop you there, but it doesn't give you much beyond that. But as you progress through the game and you upgrade your character, you do start to feel a lot of growth, and that's really important for a game like this. It gives you that almost RPG type element. What happens with the towns, with them being unstable, closed, and rioting, management of those towns and making sure you've got the right towns open for the resource, is really important. The map is beautiful. It's not sprawling. It's not, it's not taking over my entire table, which, some games have a tendency to do. They want to give you a big world, but you have a map that almost takes over your entire table. This gives plenty of room around it. It's nice, it's big, it's very, very functional. The progressive nature of the game, from what I remember when I played the TTS version, the few times I played it, how the dungeons get harder, how your enemies get harder, is really good. It marries up with how your character progresses throughout the game. But in terms of production quality, this hits the nail on the head. I think it's a really, really good quality production. I don't see any problems with anything that's in there. The minis have just the right amount of texture and detail on there. So if you're an avid painter, then you're going to want to paint those. You think about a game like, I don't know, say Gloomhaven, which the minis, I don't think I've ever seen a really well painted Gloomhaven mini. I think they all look various shades of slightly melted wax, whereas these look really, really good, and there's only 6 of them there as well. So, as I say, this was a kind of hot off the production copy that Modiphius kindly sent to me, so you could see what you're getting in the box. If you back this, and I think the pledge manager is just closed now. For late pledges, it's just closed now. But if you back this, you should be rightly excited, because I think looking at the production quality, it's going to exceed all of your expectations. So, really hope you enjoyed me on that journey through what you get in the box of Skyrim, the adventure game from Modiphius, obviously based on the console game, PC game by Bethesda, the much loved game as well. Absolutely blown away. Think it's fantastic quality product. I hope you think the same. My name's Mark. This is Not Board Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out our other videos. And one final thought. If you can't find anyone to play with, there's nothing wrong with playing with yourselves. Until next time, bye-bye.